Purchase your I Am Melanin Magic products today. For 30% off up through October the 16th, use Sweater Weather 555 discount coupon. Welcome to our channel, I Am Melanin Magic. If you want long locks,
luscious hair, radiant skin, want to look and feel good,
then I Am Melanin Magic is your brand.
I Am Melanin Magic,
and so are you. Welcome to Tanesia's Locks, Beauty Tips, and Potpourri. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel. You are with Tanesia Ali, and today I'm here to share some tips with you regarding 7 important things that you can do that can help you best care for your sister locks. Because as we know, these sister locks require quite the investment. And the majority of the investment that's really going to pay off is not the money. It's going to come down to you actively participating in the care and loving on of your sister locks. So if you have not liked the channel, if you are not a subscriber, please feel free to do so now. Also, if you haven't purchased my book, Manifesting Your Masterpiece, you can get that on Amazon. And to the thousands of you that have bought that book, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I love you. I love you. And it's just for all of you all who constantly support me here on this channel, I'm so grateful for you. I cannot even tell you. And I want to give a shout out particularly to a few of you who I owe video posts to. Angelica Giles, yours is coming first and foremost. And then next on that list, I believe, is the lovely, y'all, I have to go way down. I am so sorry, but I have so much on my plate sometimes. I just can't get to everything in a timely fashion. There's another sister here, and I have 3 sisters by that name. I can't think of the name right now, and it looks like it's quite far down. I have about 4 videos I have to put up, and I am dedicated, and I am going to do it. All right? But thank you all for your wonderful support. And for those of you who are supporting the I Am Melanin Magic brand and sending me your wonderful testimonials or leaving them as comments here on the channel, I greatly, greatly appreciate you for giving me feedback. As you all know, I'm working on a moisturizing spray, which is more water-based. For those of you who want a water-based spray, I'm also working on something that will help, particularly for those of you that have scalp issues. And some of you have reached out to me and asked if you could participate in the trials. Some of them have started already with people who are within a closer knit circle of people who were participating in the first 2 rounds before I even launched the products. I have you all in my phone. For those of you who are interested, 678-438-6442. Let me know if you're interested in the second Magical Hair Growth Serum Accelerator, which is, as you know, we have this product here, which is the Magical Hair Growth Serum. It's got a different label, but this was the first label I did, and I didn't stick with it. I designed another one, but it's the same product. You'll see this label when the other labels run out and I get tired of paying for them. But it's going to be another one also that will be quite different, but be medicinal in nature. So some of you have tried this and have absolutely loved it. Some of you like even the smell of it, which I don't. This one, of course, is more fruity. This one has had some of the same effects as this one, but those were the unintended consequences. This is for overall health. It's going to help speed up your hair growth, and it's going to fortify your hair and put back into it some of what environmental things can take out of it. This one is more specifically for those of you that have troubled areas or area where you may have some thinning or some loss of hair. Although that one has helped with that, this one is designed for that. The second one is going to be similar to this in terms of speeding up hair growth, but it will be more medicinal, and it will just give you another choice. And I know some of you are using both, so kudos to you. Kudos to you. If you see this video today, know that tomorrow night is the last day of the 30% off sale that we were running for the last 2 weeks. So if you were interested, and I always said I was going to kind of fool around with my hair a little bit more so that you all can see my locks as I'm doing these videos. But that special sweater weather, okay, Yeah, I believe it's sweater weather 555. Check your emails, y'all. I am so sorry. Let me see if I can find the actual code. It will give you 30% off. All right. And it's been a sale that we've been running for the last 2 weeks. And the code is, it's the autumn sale. Naima created the coupon. It's sweater weather 555. That will give you 30% off your entire order. And for those of you who order multiple items in one shipping at one time and you order frequently, like every few months, this will be a great deal for you. If for somehow you really want this particular discount and it expires tomorrow, please text my phone 678-438-6442 and I can give you a coupon that will allow you to extend it for an additional 3 or 4 days. If it's something that you want to do, but maybe there's something in your budget or maybe you don't get paid until further into the week, just let me know. 678-438-6442. If you're interested in the trials for either the hair growth accelerator, the moisturizing water-based spray, or the irritated scalp spray, just put that in a text. Let me know you're interested and send it to my phone and give me your first and last name and I'll add you to that contact list. So when it's time, you'll be able to participate. Okay, so let's just get into the content. So the first thing I want to talk about, that's one of the best practices, Sisterlocks best practices for caring for your hair, keeping your locks healthy, keeping them looking good, and just doing what you need to do on a regular basis. These are 7 things that I feel are really important. Now, if you watch this channel enough, you know that there's some things I harp on all the time. And you'll hear me harp on it at number 7, so stick around. But I try to bring you content that deals with the reality of this style because I know we invest a lot of money in this style. As you can see, I haven't put color in my hair in a couple of years now, I think, and I really miss my burgundy. I'm struggling, y'all, but I'm trying to hold out. And my hair, I think, is loving it. It's gotten so much softer since I've stopped doing the coloring, and the ends are much stronger, so I'm trying to hold out. We'll see how it goes. But first and foremost, number 1 is keeping your scalp clean, keeping your hair and scalp clean. And you're going to do that by washing thoroughly. Now, some of us don't wash regularly. I'm not someone that's going to wash every week. I'm not going to wash every 2 weeks. I'm not going to wash every 3 weeks. All right? And I have plenty to say on that. But if you're someone that washes your hair, make sure you wash it thoroughly, which means rinsing it out thoroughly, especially if you're using conditioners and things like that, that whether you realize it or not, they leave a residue in your hair. I have had a situation on the few times that I will use a conditioner, especially after dyeing my hair or something else. After I did that apple cider vinegar rinse thing, my hair was so dry and it needed something to help it. It was like matted and just really crazy. So I needed something instantly to help my hair to soften. I used a conditioner which was Tresemme, and I like that conditioner. It seems very light, but what can happen when you use a conditioner is because it makes your hair so soft and the water is running clear, you may stop rinsing it out. And this can happen with shampoo as well. And you may not realize that there's an invisible coating on your hair, which over time is going to build up. And it can actually look like lint when it's not lint. It's build up from a product that you put in your hair, like a conditioner or a shampoo that you are not washing out thoroughly. These things are not absorbed into your hair the way, say, essential oils and natural oils are. So you want to be careful. You want to also be mindful of lint and things that your hair can collect. Y'all know I was the OCD person always, up until probably the last 4 months. I would think I got everything out finally. I'm always picking. And when I did the apple cider vinegar rinse, I got to tell you, all types of things showed up. And I did not have the experience that you see on all the other YouTube channels where it just all disappears. Yeah, I didn't have that experience. And eventually one of these days I'll put that video up. It was helpful. It made my hair feel light. My scalp felt great. But I had all kind of stuff showing up that I eventually had to get out and do more clarifying shampoos in order to have it actually lift up and out of my hair. So keeping your hair clean is very, very important. The second thing I want to talk about is watching out for tangled locks. This is something that you're going to need to do on a regular basis after about 3 or 4 weeks of your retightening. You're going to need to watch out for tangled locks. And now doing like this isn't always sufficient, okay? Because after you get probably the first 1/4 of an inch or 3/5 of an inch of new growth, you're going to start to notice, depending upon your texture, that the hair starts sliding over and connecting with other hairs, and the locks can kind of become entangled. You want to be mindful of that process, and you want to start a detangling regimen before you even have to deal with that. If you find that they are tangled, please do not just start pulling them apart like I would do in a rush. Spray the hair with some water or an essential oil, or even if for those of you who use this, put a little bit of spray, massage it in, and then gently pull the hair apart. But the ritual of going in and checking for locks that may have gotten joined really can be beneficial. You want to do this quite often. Once you reach the 4th week of your retightening, you want to go in every week and just kind of check. And as you go further and further out, especially after you wash your hair, you really want to make sure you do this. And for sure, before you get a retightening, whether you are washing your hair or your loctician is washing your hair, make sure that you go through and you do your due diligence. You're going to be happier later. Your hair is going to be less tangled. Even if it's very tangled and you go in and get somebody to wash it, it's going to be worse. If you do some detangling ahead of time, even though you have a lot of new growth, you're still not going to experience the level of tangling that you would if you didn't do it. So it's definitely worth it. So you want to make sure you're doing that, okay? The other thing I want to talk about, and this is on the heels of a conversation that I had with my loctician, and that is you want to make sure that the person that's retightening your hair is very familiar with the Sisterlocks protocol or Microlocks protocol. We know that people who do traditional locks can do this, and you all hear me say all the time, if I have to go grab a kid out of the neighboring high school that likes to do hair and train them for how I want them to do my retightenings, if for some reason I don't have a frage available to me, or I move, or I'm out of town, or I don't feel like doing my own, you hear me say that, and I stand by that all the time. But what can happen if you're dealing with someone who doesn't know? A story that she more recently mentioned to me is that one of her clients had their hair washed. They went to get their retightening, and in getting the retightening done, the lady washed her hair. Now, this was a person who's very familiar with traditional locks. She does them all the time. She's been in the hair care industry for a long time, but she didn't know to braid and band. And what happened to that lady's hair, y'all, I can't even describe it. She didn't know to braid and band, all right? And because she didn't braid and band, those locks were fundamentally destroyed. They had to undergo an intensive repair. So just be mindful of having that baseline knowledge that you know you need to have if someone's doing your hair. You don't have to be certified to know that you need to braid and band. You don't have to be certified to tell someone, or you don't have to be at the top of your retightening game to tell someone, don't combine any of my locks. If you get to a place where you feel you've retightened two together, please let me know. These are just basic things that you would think people might know, but they might not know. If you're ever in a situation where you have to have someone else to retighten your hair, you need to write down a list of things that are really important to you, that affect the way your hair looks, the way it lays, the longevity of your locks, and the overall ability for you to be happy with this hairstyle. And you need to make that person aware. But at the very least, you want to make sure, for example, if they don't know anything about the journey and you are very new in your journey and they decide to saturate your hair with conditioner, what's going to happen? You know, these are the kinds of things that you want to really be mindful of, okay? The fourth thing that I want to talk about is allowing your hair to dry out, okay? Reason why I want to talk about this is because, you know, we have many people in this community who don't use oil on their hair, and that's fine. That's a choice. I'm one that says I needed oil before I started the journey. I need oil now. The kinds of oils and the products I use on my hair are superior and they're premium products, so I'm not expecting any residue. If I'm having residue, it's because I'm not taking care of my hair in general. I'm not washing thoroughly. I'm not watching out for putting something on my hair when I'm cleaning. I'm moving around, giving Albie her baths and her hair is flying all over the place, or I'm out in the yard doing something with the weed cutter and shit is flying all over the place. All right. Those things are the parts of the journey that we have to take responsibility for. But for me, I know I need oil on my hair. I needed oil before I got my locks. I need oil because of the hard water issues related to mineralization. I need water because of the elements that are in the environment. I need oil, not water. We need water for moisture, but we need oils for different things. Oils help replenish the nutrition that we need in our hair. Oils help to protect the hair. Oils help to coat the hair. Oils help us to lock in the moisture. Oils have a lot of nutritive benefits. In many ways, because of the quality of a lot of the water that we all have, oils, natural oils, are going to be of greater benefit to your hair. But it's important that you understand that when your hair starts to get dry, that there needs to be something that you're going to do, or that you need to do, in order to replenish the moisture that is lost in your hair, which will contribute to hair weakness. If your hair is dry and it's breaking very easily, it does not shine. I don't have to put this oil in my hair to wake up and look at my scalp and see it shining and glistening, because my hair is healthy. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, I don't use my oil on the length of my locks at all the way I used to. I may do like this and do like this. I used to use this oil. It was religiously, I used to use it. And with my very infrequent wash schedule, my locks got very heavy, to the point where I had a time where I actually wanted to cut my hair because of the weight. And it didn't dawn on me that I was not washing my hair thoroughly until I sat down one day and washed it about 9-10 times while talking to someone at a women's spa. And I noticed, oh my gosh, it's so light. So this is 8 ounces. If you're not washing your hair and you're using this on your hair, you're not washing it all out, you're carrying this extra weight. And as your locks get longer, it becomes something you'll notice. But my hair is at least 5 to 6, 7 inches longer now, and it's less cumbersome than it was a few years ago when I was considering cutting it. So those things, y'all, are very, very important. If you're someone where you're noticing your hair is breaking easily, it feels brittle, it's not shining, your scalp is crying out for something, and the water sprays are not helping you, it's time to make a determination as to what it is your hair needs in order to bring it into more balance. You have to listen to your hair, especially if you're someone who has avoided oils in one part of your journey and you're noticing that your hair doesn't feel healthy. The strands are popping out easily. When the person is retightening it, there's a lack of flexibility, and you feel more rigidity, and you hear the hair popping, or you hear that thing raking through your hair like somebody's been raking leaves. You need to put the oil on your hair to protect it. But let your hair tell you if you're someone who is against it. I will always say what you may not need in the beginning of your journey, you may find that you need later on down the line. You know, we have to change things related to our soap, our skincare routine. There's sometimes where, although this is my go-to product, and this is the only, I'll use this to even clean my skin. There are days where I go where I don't use this at all, and I see what my skin does, and then I'll put it back on again. We need to sometimes tease our routines. We need to do that. So feel comfortable doing that with your hair. Don't think that what worked for you the first 2 or 3 years will continue to work for you when your body's undergoing changes, you're undergoing stress, you maybe have changed something in your diet. Just let your body tell you what it needs. You would not resist taking a vitamin supplement. You wouldn't resist coming off of dairy if you knew it was inflaming you, if there was something that was causing your skin to itch and break out. So don't listen to someone tell you not to use any oil on your hair if you feel like you need oil. I will say again and again and again, Efraj and even Naka, both of those sisters who have had their hands in my hair. Efraj did my installation, and on the day of installation, she was spraying my hair down. And I was grateful for it when I realized what her reasoning was, because initially I was that person like, ooh, the Sisterlocks manual, the same one that doesn't exist, the same one we don't know any information about because nobody ever talks. All we know is you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that. If you don't have this number of locks, they're not Sisterlocks. Where do we get the information from? But one thing I will tell you is that I was that person that was like, ooh, are we really supposed to? I think I read somewhere we're not supposed to put. Guess what, honey? I've been doing natural hair for the last 20 some odd number of years. I'm a master cosmetologist as far as she's concerned, as far as I'm concerned. And natural hair needs A, B, C, and D. So just because I'm putting these locks in this particular style, I'm not going to negate everything that I've learned on this hair care journey just because someone is having Sisterlocks installed. So this stuff is important. What was that? Did y'all see that go across the camera? Was that something out of my hair? All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is really avoiding lightening your hair if you can. If you can't avoid lightening your hair, and let's say you want some color, because this was just a red I had in, but because it was, and I think it was Vidal Sassoon Runaway Red. Because it is chemical and it has ammonia in it, when it finally runs its course, I'm left with this color, which is why when you would see me put a rinse over top of it, the rinse would go on this lighter color and my hair would be blazing and it would be really, really pretty in terms of the color. But there's a price to pay for that. Okay, and especially if your hair is weak going in, before you put any color in, please take 6 months or so to strengthen your hair if you're going to do it. And before you put any color in, if you absolutely can't resist, please at all costs avoid a bleaching if you absolutely can. Unless you're one of those people who has bleached your hair before and didn't have any problems, please know that even the strongest of hair can suffer extreme hair loss and locks falling out when you begin to consider bleaching. If it's something you did on the forefront of it, yeah, but just consider, I'm not going to risk bleaching my hair and I'm this far in my journey knowing that the locks could just start falling out. And guess what they're going to fall out first from? The hair that's been around the longest. All of this, okay? All of this is where it's going to start falling out. So be mindful of that, everybody. All right. Consider things like henna. I have a video, shout out to Priscilla, where we're going to show you how she does her henna. Her hair is a beautiful reddish color. And I have the henna myself. I'm going to try it in a certain area. I had a problem with some henna some years ago. So I kind of want to go back in slowly. Granted, I mixed it in less than maybe 7 or 8 weeks with some hair dye. And that's where my problems came in. But I'm willing to venture out again and try it again, but I'm going to try it in a certain area. She's had wonderful results with henna. She's been using it for a number of years, and her locks are gorgeous. And they are the burgundy color that I actually like. You can also consider lemon. You can consider vinegar. You can consider lemon and sitting out in the sun. There are a lot of things you can do to lighten your hair without necessarily, I mean, you can even use, I would say beet juice and lemon. You could give that a shot. You could try hibiscus and lemon. You can try a lot of things that have the staining capacity naturally. That's why people will use coffee to darken their hair or tea to darken their hair. If you really want to try something with color, but you're really afraid. And then, of course, you have the spray-on colors that some people will use as well. But you have to be careful about, you know, the type of product you're putting in, because you want to make sure that you can get it out of your hair, okay? The next thing I want to talk about, number 6, is being vigilant with regard to your hair and paying attention to what is going on with it. That means you cannot take a laissez-faire, hands-off approach to your hair. This is your mane, and just because it is abundant and beautiful and you never have another bad hair day after you get your Sisterlocks, doesn't mean that you don't have to do your due diligence and watch what is going on with your hair and inspect your babies and know when something has changed and study what could have caused that change. Did you change your retightenings? Have you not been drinking enough water? Are you under a lot of stress? Is the medication that you've been taking becoming a problem? Or have you changed something about your hair care regimen? What is it? Pay attention to what is going on with your hair, because I will say this and I will say this always. By the time you recognize that there's a problem, the problem is already becoming systemic. It already is, and that's why you notice it. You know how they say, by the time you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated? That's kind of like it is. So you got to be doing the maintenance. You got to be paying attention to what's going on a regular basis. The last thing I want to talk about, number 7, is really realizing that retightenings are an at-risk ritual that is a necessary part of this journey. And the reason why I say that is that retightenings in and of themselves pose complications, and they can pose greater complications long term if you're not actively participating in your own rescue. You hear me say that. And what I mean by that is anything that you do ritualistically and repetitive puts a strain on your hair because you're pulling at the scalp. You're trying to, a lot of people OCDing about that grid. Some of you are getting those retightenings I've even heard 3 to 4 weeks, which scares the crap out of me, because while you may not be paying for that now, you're going to pay the piper later. Or you could be getting your retightenings done by someone who's too harsh on your hair and your hair is sore, or you have headaches. I've had a few of you write to me and say, I told her 2 or 3 times, it's been 2 weeks, my head is still hurting. Or I was taking Advil for 3 days afterwards. These things can be really uncomfortable. Sometimes you don't notice a retightening that's too tight until a day after you get the retightening. These are the things you have to pay attention to. So be mindful of the quality of your retightenings. Are they too tight? Can the person leave off a few points on the rotation? Do they need to leave off an entire rotation? Are they obsessing over the grid? Are you obsessing over the grid? Are you getting them done too frequently? Are you getting them done not frequently enough? Like, what is going on with the retightenings? Because we all know, for those of us who have retightened our own hair, or who have a loctician that is very easy on the hair, you know that when you do your own retightenings, it doesn't hurt. It almost feels like a retightening you could do every 3 or 4 weeks. If it weren't for the fact that your locks need a chance to rest and bounce back, the fact that you are doing a retightening very gently will allow you to do more frequent retightenings. The more frequent the retightening is becomes a serious issue when the hair is being pulled too tight, when the rotations are too close to the head, and when you have someone who may be a bit more heavy-handed, and those sorts of things. But in and of itself, if it's a very slow and meticulous and very almost you can't feel like cotton ball retightening, you have less to worry about. But the repetitive nature of retightenings can eventually cause hair thinning, hair loss, and y'all, it can create traction alopecia, just like anything else that culturally we've done to our hair time and time again, which is another reason why you need to supplement. You need to do everything you can to make sure your hair is strong. You need to build the capacity of your hair to be resistant, to bounce back, to renew itself, to regrow, and just to overall be stronger, which is why if you're interested in the I Am Melanin Magic brand, go to the I Am Melanin Magic website and look at the premium hair care spray on there that's going to help your hair be stronger. I will tell you, as you've heard me often say on this channel, I have done a lot of picking of my hair. My hair should be at least this much longer all the way around, but I've picked and picked and picked and then popped ends off from getting lint out of my hair in the early years. And just other things. I also think that in my retightens, when I was doing my own retightens a couple times, I was retightening in the opposite direction. Okay, and I had that lady who did my hair and making, and it took me to halfway of her doing my hair to realize she didn't even know what pattern she was retightening my hair. So you got to ask yourself, which direction was she retightening it? And I'm a reverse 4. So if she was going the other direction, then my hair is going to have to lock up a different way, which means my growth is going to be stunted. So all of these things are things that we have to pay attention to. Go to the www.IamMelaninMagic.com website if you want to purchase any of the hair care products. We also have a wonderful product for inflammation and pain, something that you can rub on you to help ease any discomfort. There's the Chill Magic, which you put on the soles of your feet, the temples. My mom puts it across her head, also behind your ears and on your wrists to help you relax when you need to relax. This can be daytime relaxation for meditation, or it can be nighttime relaxation if you have trouble falling asleep. It can help ease that. We have the acne serum, which has been wonderful. You all know that was my first baby when I got into aromatherapy. It was because I suffered from adult acne. And so it has done wonders for my skin in my 30s and my early 40s. But this is the Wonder Serum here, the anti-aging serum. Shout out to Ali, I think, who's been doing this, and Tony, who's been doing this for like 2.5 years now. However long I've had it, that's how long you all have been doing it, and you swear by it. Those are just two of the names that I can think of. But this eases the lines on my forehead. It keeps my skin exfoliating. It keeps it radiant, and it keeps it looking, what I'm going to say, fresh, radiant, and glowy. I love y'all. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your afternoon, evening, or morning. Thank you again for tuning in, because you could have been doing anything else, but you decided to stick around for me. If you have any other tips about things that you think are really, really, really important that you would like to share, shoot me a video and I would love to air it on the channel. Yes, I will get on my thing. Or put it in the comment section, because I do read the comments, y'all. I love you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Please be peaceful, productive, prosperous, and live passionately.
If you are not using I Am Melanin Magic hair oil, then what are you using?
Hey guys, so I started using this oil called I Am Melanin Magic since February of this year, and check out the new growth. Like, it's insane. Not only did it help with my new growth, but it smells amazing too.
See the dramatic improvements Denisha has made after not having hair around her edges for 3 years. Tanya's hair had been like this for almost 20 years, and while getting injections. Her doctor said it was scarred and would never grow back. After 4 weeks of using I Am Melanin Magic, this is what she looked like. I Am Melanin Magic did this to Danette's hair after a short time. Hi, I'm the creator of the I Am Melanin Magic hair and skincare brand. My vision has always been to develop a line of products that meets the unique needs of melanated people. The I Am Melanin Magic hair oil is our premier product. It is the leading high-end supplement for your mane.
It reduces breakage, promotes growth, and can be used on all hair types and looks, from straightened hair and microlocks to wigs and protective styles. It's antifungal, antibacterial, and anti-funk, so you know you're protected.
It softens and conditions your hair, and it's anti-frizz too.
This really is all you need. It's rich with antioxidants, loaded with growth-promoting ingredients. Look at the growth of my hair. The proof is in the product. Need I say more? Don't delay. Purchase yours today.
I Am Melanin Magic,
And so are you.